Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Unscripted. Today is January 31st, and coming off a couple Michigan State games. Last night the Spartans took down the school down the road, but we will get into that in a little bit. We're going to start talking about the Spartans' loss to Wisconsin on the 26th. 81 to 66 was the score in Madison. Um, I guess I'll start with this one. I just thought it was really similar, honestly, to the first time these two teams played, which was a little disappointing to see from the Michigan State side of things. Um, I felt like the lineups really were very similar, and it was similar results. It felt like Michigan State just kind of said, we're going to roll the ball out there the same way we did the first time, and got similar results. They were the Wisconsin big men, obviously Stephen Crowell leading the way. Um, they were really able to dominate on the glass again and inside. 35 to 25 was the rebounding battle. So I just thought I would have liked to see a little bit more of some different lineups and just trying different things against a good Wisconsin team. Obviously, credit to Wisconsin. I don't want to take anything away from them. They're a great team. Obviously, it's very hard to go on the road, especially the Kohl Center. It's a great atmosphere and a tough place to play. But yeah, I mean, and then AJ Storr again, second straight time. I mean, obviously, this is only his first only season at Wisconsin, but two great games this year against the Spartans for Storr. He had 28 on 9 of 17 shooting. So, highlighting a little bit of the Wisconsin guys and how they were able to play really well. I just thought they came out and took care of business. What'd you think from the game?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, you kind of saw the same kind of result from when they played us the first time here. Just didn't really bring it. And I think, like you said, Wisconsin's a very, very good team, top 10 team in the country, but we just didn't really the matchups weren't there all night. I think, a lot of people were complaining a little bit about seeing Sissoko and Cooper together, which is always you know, tough thing to see. But yeah, I mean, AJ Storr, 28, they got what they wanted at all times. Or for us, they made everything difficult. And, that can go back to a lot of things we've talked about in the past with our offense. But basically, they got whatever they wanted, and we couldn't get anything we wanted.
Yeah, it definitely was a lot easier on the side of things. Also, I wrote down to point out Connor Segan off the bench. He had 8 points, hit a couple threes. It really just seemed like even when, you know, they their stars played well, I don't want to say they didn't, but they were getting help off the bench and really everywhere. So, um, shout out to Connor Segan. Um, yeah, on the MSU side of things, I thought Hogard played pretty well. Um, but it's again, like we were saying, just very eerily similar to what we saw early in December when when these two teams played for the first time. Wisconsin just got off to a great start, and the game was never really close. It hovered around anywhere from 8 to 12 points the whole game. Yeah, and you brought up the Cooper and Sissoko lineup. Obviously, the social media people on Twitter weren't happy about that. I was reading a lot of stuff on Friday or on during the game and through the weekend about how a lot of people just didn't like that. And I guess I could say you could lump me in with those people. I would have liked to see Booker and Kohler if you're gonna mix the big men, obviously, because those two provide a little bit more of an offensive output. I mean, Kohler, at least with his footwork, we're getting a little bit more of an offensive post presence, and Booker can spread the floor. So, yeah, I think I thought it was an interesting move. I understand the idea of they bodied Michigan State the first time they played, dominated on the inside. So put your two guys in there that Izzo believes are his best rebounders, and it just didn't really work. The offense was pretty clunky when they were in, and it was tough.
Yeah, I think you said it right there. Is the one with kind of both of those guys to go against Crowell and probably Wall. And it just, if that doesn't even end up mattering, you're not going to get anything on the offensive end. And now you're stuck with two bigs inside that can't really score on their own. So you're not left with too much. But And I also thought it was interesting. I don't think we saw Carr a lot. I mean, yes, we were down 20 and he ended up getting in, and Booker ended up getting in. But, I think there was a lot of questions with the lineup that game. Maybe it was just due to, again, they're a very skilled team. Maybe he didn't think he was ready for them. I don't know. But obviously, the results didn't go the way we wanted.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point. Cohen Carr's another one of those guys. He reminds me of Malik Hall in the way that like he's not a center, but he can guard centers because of his athleticism and just his overall defensive ability. But I don't have anything else for the Wisconsin game. Do you got any other thoughts?
No, not really.
Okay, so we'll move on to last night. So last night, a little bit more enjoyable for us Spartan students. Um, Johnny and I were both in attendance. Johnny was down in the I zone. I was up in the upper bowl. Can't blame a man for getting his hands on a free ticket, though. But yeah, Michigan State 81, Michigan 62. This game was awesome. I liked this game a lot. But I'll start with you, Johnny, get some of your thoughts. What stood out to you? Obviously, the big story is career win number 700 for Coach Izzo. Congratulations to Coach Izzo on that. And AJ Hogard reached 1,000 career points. So a couple milestones. And I'm leaving one milestone out. See if you pick it up.
As you guys know by now, we've partnered with BetMGM Sportsbook for this college basketball season. We're going to be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks and predictions throughout the college basketball season. And we are going to have special offers for you, the listeners, and the viewers on the Field of 68 each and every week during the season. If you haven't signed up with BetMGM yet, use the bonus code FIELD1500 and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager on BetMGM Sportsbook. Here's what you got to do. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD1500. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. You will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if that bet loses. Just make sure you use the bonus code FIELD1500 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient for me when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly. When crossing state borders, just log into your existing account instead of having to create new accounts in each state that you go to. And most importantly, I got to let you know, we do have some fun stuff coming up for this college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odds boosts, my personal favorite, parlay odds boosts. So download the BetMGM app today.
Got it?
Oh, I mean,
Aiken's career high.
well, Aiken's having I saw
Aiken's career
Malik.
high. Woo.
They said Malik had his 600th rebound, which
Oh, I
they
missed that.
tweeted that. Yeah, I mean, not too many people care about rebounds these days, but it
Izzo
was
probably loved that.
yeah. But no, just talking about the game, right? I mean, the second half was more than fun. I mean, obviously the first half was a little different, but yeah, I mean, Jaden Akins, career high 23, 7 of 10 from three. That's just what we've been looking for, and he's given us that throughout the year, not at the most consistent basis. But once again, I think we said it before, a catch and shoot guy, and he is that. And when he's confident, he doesn't need much space as long as he's ready to shoot. And I think you saw it the whole night. And then definitely towards, the end of the game, Michigan decided to go zone. And if you're going to leave Jaden Akins open in the corner, I mean, hey, that's on you. But yeah, I mean, Hogard, I thought had a really good second half after probably not the best first half. A couple of turnovers, didn't look as aggressive. Totally turned it around, 15.7 assists. Pretty sure like at least those 5 of those assists were in the second half. But yeah, we just saw a total different, really, team come out of the tunnel in that second half and really just didn't give Michigan a chance at all in that second half.
Yeah, Izzo said it after the game when he did a little. I don't know if you stayed for his little. He did like a Big Ten interview and then got
Mhm.
the mic and was standing on the court talking. And he joked. He was like, "Yeah, we appreciate you all. The energy was great all night, even though we were awful in the first half." But just thought that was a little funny joke from Izzo. But yeah, I mean, I thought you hit it right on. I thought AJ was awesome in that second half. I thought Walker wasn't playing his best offensive game and scoring like he we've seen him do. But I thought his defense was awesome. His hands were active all night, causing steals and just tapping balls and forcing loose balls and just causing havoc really on the defensive end. Um, but yeah, Michigan, well, I'll talk about them for a sec. They fall to 7-14 and 2-8 in Big Ten play, which is good for a mark of dead last in the Big Ten by 2 games. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Um, yeah, I like that. But yeah, Akins, and I got a couple things that I had written down. Uh, Cohen Carr, I need more minutes, and Booker, I want more minutes. I need to see them more. I just thought it was an interesting move from Izzo. Carr Walker found him underneath for the layup, and obviously he had the monster block on the other end, and then immediately he comes out of the game, and I was like, what? Like he's starting to feel himself, try and get a little bit more confidence. I just thought it was kind of weird from Izzo to just not let him stay out there for at least a few more minutes. Because Carr was obviously feeling himself and getting into it with the crowd because the atmosphere was off the charts. Obviously, it always is in Breslin, but after that block, it was awesome. And Booker, we kind of talked about it a little bit from the Wisconsin game. I didn't mention this, but in the Wisconsin game, Booker had 6 minutes and he scored 5 points, 2 for 3 from the field. He hit a three. And then against Michigan, 7 minutes, 3 points, 2 rebounds. There was that one possession where he was in, and State didn't end up scoring from it, but they got like 3 offensive rebounds, and Booker didn't get every one, but I know he got one and kicked it out, and I know he was down there fighting, tapping the ball around, and the possession didn't end in points, but they had 4 or 5 shots on one possession, which is, you know, most of the time they're gonna find a way for one of those to go down, but. Yeah, really overall great game from the team. The second half obviously is where they really pulled away. And but yeah, Walker 12 points, Hogard 15 and 7 assists. Akins with the career high, like we said, and Hall with 12 points and 6 of 8 shooting. So I just thought it was really efficient in the second half was just such a good half. They played so well. It really just looked like the team that we've expected to see all year.
Yeah, and I think talking about Carr, obviously that block was something. I mean, well, I mean, you're not shocked when it's him, but like couldn't think anyone else could do that. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice to get him a little bit more than 8 minutes. And again, I understand Izzo's sometimes his point. He's still got a long way to go defensively on ball, but when he does things like that off ball, he can just read the situation, and then offensively, you saw him attack, which was nice. He's still passive, but that's going to come with time, and if that's this year, hopefully it is. But and then Booker, same thing, right? It was nice to see him get in that first half and get some minutes. Obviously, we hope to see a little bit more, but I thought again, Trey Holloman has really been a difference maker. I think these past 2 to 3 weeks or even longer. Just when he's confident, and it's obviously he's been knocking down threes, but yesterday he scored I think twice, getting to the rim, which was great to see. And then his defense has just been superb. I mean, the way how he guarded Jameer Young in that Maryland game, and then just last night when he gets up on the ball, you can't get by him, and it just brings a certain kind of energy that sometimes his team needs. And when he's playing like that, that's we always talk about the four main guys, and he ends up being the fifth guy and a super important player.
Yeah, I can't agree anymore with everything you just said. I think Trey Holloman has been a massive part as to Michigan State kind of finding their way this year. And it's honestly like, yeah, I know we all as Michigan State fans, we know that that Trey Holloman has great potential. And I think a lot of people saw some flashes last year and were excited about the player he could become, but I don't think anyone expected him to be that fifth guy, like you said, with this backcourt. That like everyone knowing the strength of this team is the backcourt, and it turns out the guy who's become like the bench player and the X factor off the bench is just another guard, which is a credit to Trey more than anything, I think. Um, And yeah, I like you said, it was great to see him attacking and getting to the rim and scoring in different ways. I think that just shows that he's gaining even more confidence in his offensive game. And yeah, he's just a lockdown defender. Um, but yeah, I do a little. I'm a Ken Palm subscriber now, so I live on that site a lot when I'm in class. And so I was this morning, I was looking at it. The Spartans are up to 17th in Ken Palm rankings, which like, and I know they're high in net, Ken Palm, Torvik, everything. I don't I don't know. It just confuses me sometimes because it's like they're right behind. Well, I mean, I guess this kind of makes sense. Like they're between Creighton and Baylor. And those teams that like Creighton and Baylor have been ranked the entire season, and State just I don't know. It might just be the narrative of this team starting off number four and then getting off to the bad start. But I think it is. I don't know if I would say it's nice to see or just more interesting that Michigan State gets this much respect from the analytics. But I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, you look at all the analytics and, no matter what happens, we don't move out of, we haven't really moved out of the top 25 in any of the statistics. And then I think I saw something earlier today talking about the turnovers being some of the lowest we've had. So you got all these numbers in our favor, and the results haven't always been there. So it's interesting. I guess you could say, the potential's really there and the numbers have really liked us. And then I don't know, but yeah, it's a good thing to look at. But yeah, I mean, Walker, I mean, these guys are going to perform. I know Walker's had a couple, I'd say. I mean, looking at his numbers, kind of a shooting slump, kind of. I mean,
For
last
his
three games for
standards.
him standard,
Yeah.
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 I looked 5 of 14 yesterday, 5 of 4 of 14 versus Wisconsin, 5 of 14 versus Maryland. Not Walker numbers, but I'm not too worried if he'll get through it as long as he continues to stay confident. There's no one else you want the ball in his hands than Tyson Walker, so no worries there.
Yeah. Um, I'm all out of stuff. Do you have anything else?
I mean, the only other thing we talked about I wanted to mention was Carr and Booker. I think it's just also Izzo really finding that the front court lineups now that Kohler's back, right? We saw Kohler get 10 minutes yesterday, some at the five, some at the four. And I just think he's still working out who can work well together. Hopefully he realizes Cooper and Sissoko is a no.
Hmm.
But finding out, it's Booker and Booker and Cooper, or is it Booker and whatever the combinations that he can get these guys in. Hopefully we see that down the next couple of weeks, really, you know, get somewhere where we're all happy with.
Yeah, I mean, March is around the corner. Tomorrow's the first day of February. So if you're listening to this, you might be listening in February. And so it's go time. It really is go time. Um, Bubble talk is heating up. Obviously, we'll get more into that around when the time comes. But yeah, the march goes on. Another home game coming up for the Spartans this Saturday. Maryland is coming to town, so another matchup there with the Terrapins. And then after that, the Spartans will go to Minnesota to take on the Gophers for the second time this season. So they picked up a win against both those teams the first matchup. Obviously, we're just looking for more of the same. Um, Having Maryland coming in, obviously Jameer Young, those guys never going to be easy. So. We'll be looking out for we'll be watching that on Saturday. Great slate Saturday.
Yes.
One of the best slates. Football season's over. The Lions are they lost, so we're all in college hoops. Football no more. No more football. Now it's just college hoops. We've got an amazing slate Saturday. Can't wait for all the games. And yeah, we'll be back with you